Hello friends. In my today's lecture, I'm going to start with new series of the videos in which I'm going to explain the process of translation or protein synthesis. We know that protein synthesis is one of the most important, significant and essential process that take place in both prokaryotic as well as in eukaryotic cell. The difference is that in case of prokaryotic cell, it takes place in the cytoplasm along with the transcription, while in case of eukaryotic cell, transcription take place in the nucleus, while translation or the protein synthesis separately take place inside the cytoplasm. Now in the today's lecture, I'm going to focus on overview of the translation process. First of all, I'm just going to explain you the requirements that is needed for the translation process, and in the later half of the video I'm going to explain how the translation process work exactly in the prokaryotic cell. We know that in the transcription process that we have already discussed, three different type of RNAs are generally produced by prokaryotic cell, which are mRNA or messenger RNA, rRNA or ribosomal RNA, while tRNA or transfer RNA. All these RNA are the key factors which is responsible for translation process. Along with these three important RNAs, cell may require amino acids and some other factors for completion of the translation process. Why translation process is so important? Because for survival, prokaryotic cell require large amount of structural as well as catalytic protein, and all these proteins are produced by the process of translation. Because during the metabolism, for both anabolic as well as for catabolic reactions, enzymes play important role, and enzymes are nothing but the protein, and all the proteins inside the cell are produced by this process. So prokaryotic cell have to control the translation very accurately to survive. Okay, without translation or due to faulty translation, cell cannot going to remain alive. So first of all, I'm going to focus on mRNA. This is the type of RNA which is a simple linear structure with one 5 prime end and another 3 prime end. The 5 prime end of the mRNA or messenger RNA have uh, three nucleotide region which is called as codon, and it is AUG or start codon, while the 3 prime end of the every mRNA always have codon called stop codon or nonsense codon. There are three different type of nonsense codon which is present on the mRNA, which are UAA, UAG or UGA. We may call them as amber, ochre and opal. I'm going to discuss about this thing in the later half of the series. Now, we know that mRNA is approximately 5% of the total RNA which is present in the prokaryotic cell, and the weight of the mRNA is approximately 5 lakh. Okay, so this is the simple linear molecule which play the role of transferring message from nucleus to cytoplasm in case of eukaryotic cell, while from DNA to ribosome in case of prokaryotic cell. So this is messenger RNA. Okay, if I draw the structure of mRNA here, you can see it is always linear structure. Okay, so start point is AUG, which we called as a start codon, while the end point always is UAA or UAG or UGA. These three are the stop codon or nonsense codon because they do not code any amino acids. Okay, so this three nucleotide region which is present on the mRNA is codon, and each codon of three nucleotide on the mRNA specify single amino acid, and this is called as genetic code. Genetic code is nothing but the data in which we can find the type of a codon and the amino acid which the codon specify. Okay, for this you have to remember one thing. Generally, codon on the mRNA is made up of 3 nucleotide. Okay, and initially scientist was believing that the codon is made up of one nucleotide only. Okay, so what happen if the codon is made up of one nucleotide? If codon is actually made up of one nucleotide, in that case RNA, mRNA have 4 nucleotides: adenine, guanine, cytosine and uracil. So how many different type of codons will be produced? 4. And we know that each codon specifies single amino acid. In nature, there are approximately 20 amino acids are present, which play important role in the translation process. So on mRNA, there will be minimum 20 codon should be present. Okay, so if one codon is made up of one nucleotide, in that case, total 4 codon will be produced, which code 4 amino acid. It is not sufficient for the completion of the process. So this hypothesis was rejected. Now second hypothesis come, which says that codon is made up of 2 amino acids. In that case, you can see if codon is made up of 2 amino acids, then that means codon have 2 position, first position and second position. The first position may have any one of the nucleotide out of the 4. So that means first position have any one nucleotide from 4 nucleotide, and second position also have any one nucleotide from 4 nucleotides. So how many nucleotides will be produced? 4 into 4, 16. It is not sufficient to code 20 amino acids. So this possibility is also ruled out. Now scientists think that codon is made up of 3 nucleotides. Then what happened? If the codon is made up of 3 nucleotides, it has 3 positions: first position, second position and third position. First position may have any base from the 4 nucleotide, second also have any of the 4, and third also have similar case. Now 4 into 4 into 4, total 64 codons. So if the codon is made up of 3 nucleotides, 64 different combinations can be produced, like AUG or AGG or AGC, okay, or AGA. Anything can be produced by the nucleotide if codon is made up of 3 nucleotides. That means total 64 different type of codons can be produced if the codon is made up of 3 nucleotides, and it is the sufficient number for coding 20 amino acids. Okay, so which codon out of these 64 codon code which amino acid? This data is called as genetic code. The genetic code was first time cracked or dissipated by 3 scientists, mainly Nirenberg, Mathy, and Indian scientist Hargobind Khurana. And for this work, they honored with the Nobel Prize of Medicine and Physiology in 1968. Okay, according to these 3 scientists, the codon which is present on the mRNA only code single amino acids. Okay, this they make a conclusion that out of 64 codon, 3 codons are nonsense codon. They do not code any amino acid. So 64 minus 3, 61 codon is present on the mRNA which code amino acids. Then genetic code also conclude that the codon which is present on the mRNA is commaless. Genetic code is commaless. That means no gap is present between the 2 codon. It is a continuous. Then they also conclude that genetic code is degenerate type. What is degeneracy? Degeneracy means there are 61 codon available which code 20 amino acid. That means one amino acid can be coded by more than one codon. Okay, it is called as degeneracy. For example, GGG, then GGA, GGC and GGU. These 4 codon code single amino acid which is glycine. Okay, if I write here these 4 codon code single amino acid which is glycine, and this is called as degeneracy of the genetic code. Then genetic code, which explained by these three scientists, is universal. That means right from simple prokaryotic cell to very complex eukaryotic cell, all organisms have similar genetic code. That means if AUG in prokaryotic cell code methionine amino acid, that means complex eukaryotic organism also code methionine amino acid by AUG codon. Okay, so genetic code is nearly universal, but some exceptions are also present, like eukaryotic cell organelle like mitochondria or chloroplast. We know that these eukaryotic organelles have their own DNA, and this DNA, if transcribed into mRNA, then the genetic code which is present on the this cell organelle mRNA is quite different than the normal prokaryotic or eukaryotic cell. Okay, and this is called as universality of the genetic code. Now you have to remember one thing here, that actually 20 amino acids take part in the translation process. Okay, but in 1990 another amino acid was found which is called as selenocysteine. This 21st amino acid can also be coded by codon, and the codon which code this selenocysteine is UGA or this. Okay, actually in normal case this is the nonsense codon or stop codon, but in some exceptional cases this codon code a new amino acid called selenocysteine. Okay, so this is all about genetic code. In my upcoming video I am going to discuss the genetic code in detail. So mRNA is the first molecule which take part in the translation process. The next RNA which is involved in the translation process is rRNA. Approximately 80% of the total RNA in the prokaryotic cell is rRNA, and the weight of rRNA is approximately 1 lakh. Okay, this is the RNA which is vigorously folded, and it is the main part of the ribosome. What is ribosome? Ribosome is the machinery or the machine which is used for reading mRNA and synthesizing new protein. Okay, and this ribosome is made up of rRNA. So it is called as ribosomal RNA. Actually ribosome have rRNA and some protein, so it is called as ribonucleic protein. Ribosome mainly contain rRNA, and there are three different type of rRNA which is present in the prokaryotic ribosome. This is the structure of prokaryotic ribosome, which having two subunit, large subunit and small subunit. Large subunit of the prokaryotic ribosome is 15S, while the small subunit is 30S. What is S? 50S is Swedberg unit, which is named after the great scientist who discovered ultracentrifuge. Okay, so large subunit of the prokaryotic cell is called as 15S, while the small subunit is called as 30S. Together the ribosome is called as 70S. So prokaryotic cell have 70S type of ribosome, while eukaryotic cell have 80S type of ribosome with a two different subunits, 60S and 40S. Okay, in this case you find 50S and 30S and total becomes 70S. How it is possible? Actually 50S and 30S become 50 plus 30, 80S, but till we call it as a 70S because actually the S is Swedberg unit, which is not generally measure the mass but the rate of sedimentation when this ribosome is subjected to centrifugation, and rate of sedimentation is generally depend upon size and structure of the subunit. So if this is 50S and 30S, when they combine they sediment at this rate. Okay, so it is called as 70S. Now the 50S ribosomal subunit of the prokaryotic ribosome is made up of two different type of rRNA, 23S and 5S, while 30S subunit of the prokaryotic ribosome is made up of 16S type of rRNA. This large subunit also have 31 different type of proteins, while the small subunit have 21 different type of proteins. That means both these subunit contain rRNA and protein. Okay, this 16S is well known because the ribosomal RNA, which is 16S, which is responsible for 30th subunit in ribosome, is signature sequence for every organism. That means it is fixed for every species, every strain, and this ribosomal sequence is we generally used for identification of the prokaryotic cell up to species level. Okay, this is all about the rRNA. Okay, the last RNA which is involved in the translation process is tRNA, and tRNA, also called as transfer RNA, play important role of transferring amino acid from cytoplasm to ribosome. When ribosome get attached to the mRNA, it requires amino acid for the synthesis of the protein, and that amino acids will be provided by tRNA molecule. tRNA molecule generally have two different type of structures. Number one is hairpin structure, and number two is clover leaf model or clover leaf structure. Okay, so both these structure are similar. First of all, we are going to discuss about hairpin structure. It look like a hairpin because tRNA is the smallest RNA of approximately 73 to 93 nucleotide, and it is 10 to 50% in the prokaryotic cell with a weight of 30,000. So when we compare tRNA with mRNA or RNA, we can find that this is the smallest of all. And when tRNA form complementary base pairing with itself, then this type of structure is produced. When clover leaf or hairpin model is produced from the tRNA single chain, it have two ends, 5' end and 3' end. 5' end of the tRNA always have guanine G, while the 3' end is called as acceptor arm, which always have CCA sequence on tRNA, and new amino acids out of 20 amino acids get attached to this end, 3' end of the tRNA. The process in which amino acids attached to the 3' end of the tRNA is called as tRNA charging. The next is this clover leaf model. This clover leaf model have three different type of loop: DHU loop, T-Cy-C loop, and anticodon loop, which is also present in hairpin model. Okay, this clover leaf model have 5' end with a G and 3' end with a CCA, and this is the end where amino acid get attached. Okay, on the anticodon loop of both this RNA, there is a anticodon which is made up of 3 nucleotides. Here you can see 3 nucleotide anticodon. When the process of translation begin, ribosome bind to the start codon. This ribosome will going to assemble itself on the start codon, and then the codon will going to match with the anticodon because amino acid is bring in the process by the tRNA, and then tRNA get attached to the codon because tRNA having anticodon, and this anticodon is complementary to the codon which is present on the mRNA. Okay, so this is all about the three different type of RNA which is present in the prokaryotic cell. Now I am going to discuss the different stages of the translation process. Actually, like transcription and DNA replication, translation process also divided into three distinct stages like initiation, elongation, and termination. So now I am going to discuss each stage in brief. So first and most important stage of the translation is initiation of the process. Okay, so in the initiation process, when newly formed mRNA enter in the cytoplasm in case of eukaryotic cell, or when reached to the ribosome in case of prokaryotic cell, the process get initiated. Okay, this is the mRNA having 5' end and 3 prime end. If this mRNA have AUG codon, which is this start codon somewhere here. Now at the initiation phase, 2 subunit of the 70th ribosome get dissociated from each other, and the small subunit, which is 30th subunit, get itself attached to the start codon. So here you can see 30th subunit attached. Okay. Now after binding of 30th subunit to the start codon, the large subunit, which is 50th, also get assembled on the mRNA. Okay, and structure like this is produced from 50th and 30th subunit. mRNA is passed. Okay, now the ribosome, when get assembled on the mRNA, have 3 different type of sites. The first site which is present on the ribosome is called as A site or amino acid tRNA acceptor site. The second site where start codon is present, and this site is called as P site. While the last site of the ribosome is called as E site or exit site. When ribosome get attached to the mRNA, first tRNA come. Okay, we know that tRNA either have hairpin structure or chlor lip structure. So first tRNA enter in the process and get attached on P site. Okay, and we know that as P site having start codon AUG, this is mRNA. Then when first tRNA come, it will going to have anticodon which match with the codon. If the codon is AUG, then anticodon must have UAC sequence. This is the UAC anticodon which is complementary to the AUG start codon. Okay, and out of 32 tRNA which is present in the prokaryotic cell, the tRNA which have this anticodon come and get attached to the P site, and always the first tRNA have amino acid which is formyl methionine. Okay, in case of eukaryote, first tRNA come with a methionine amino acid, while in case of prokaryotic cell, first tRNA come with formyl methionine amino acids. Okay, generally in the elongation phase of the translation, newly produced charged tRNA enter through A site. Okay, but the exception is the first tRNA which come in the initiation process and directly get attached to the P site. When this tRNA attached to the P site, the initiation process is completed. Now ribosome enter into the elongation phase of the translation process. What is elongation? Elongation is the phase where ribosome move on the mRNA in 5' to 3' direction. Okay, and at the time of movement, ribosome move 3 nucleotide per turn. Okay, so this is the initiation process, and in the elongation process, ribosome start movement. When ribosome move 3 nucleotide forward, it can enter into the elongation phase. In the elongation phase, another tRNA come with amino acid and get attached to the A site. This is the second tRNA. Okay, the tRNA also have amino acid at 3' end. Now when ribosome move forward, before the movement, the amino acid which is present on the tRNA of a P site is transported to the amino acid which is present on the tRNA of A site. That means a peptide bond is produced, in between these two amino acids, and this bond get break. Okay, due to the transfer of the amino acid from this tRNA to the first or A site tRNA, this tRNA now is now ready for exit. Okay, so when amino acid get transfer one codon forward, the tRNA from the P site now shift to E site. Okay, and this tRNA from the A site shift to P site. That means tRNA will going to change the position. So this tRNA now shift itself to the P site. Here I have shown you just the position of the tRNA is changed from P to E and A to P. And now in the next step, new tRNA come with the amino acid and get attached to the A site, while the tRNA from the E site exit. Okay, similar cycle repeated in the elongation phase until ribosome reach last codon, which may be UAA or UAG or UGA. These three codon are a termination codon or nonsense codon. They do not code any amino acid. That means this codon is not complementary to the any anticodon which is present on the tRNA. During the elongation phase of the ribosome, when ribosome is moving on the mRNA, the peptide chain or the amino acid chain will going to increase in the length. Okay, after every movement of the ribosome, the protein or the amino acid chain from the P site gets shifted to A site. Okay, and this cycle continue. For this shifting of the chain from P site to A site, a special enzyme is required, which is called as peptidyl transferase, and this enzyme is present on the large subunit of the ribosome. Okay, now the last phase begin, which is called as termination. When ribosome reach to the stop codon, due to lack of any tRNA with an anticodon matching to the stop codon, the process got terminated. Exactly the opposite thing happened to that of the initiation. First, large subunit of the ribosome get dissociated from the mRNA, then small subunit get dissociated, mRNA also gets separated, and newly formed protein chain, that is sequence of amino acid, is ready for transportation into the desired site, where this chain will going to get folded into the active form, and then this protein will going to perform specific function. Okay, for initiation to occur in prokaryotic translation, various factors are required, and these factors are called as initiation factors. While elongation also require some factor, and they are called as elongation factor, while termination require release factors. I am going to discuss about initiation, in that initiation factor and detailed process of initiation, elongation and termination in my next few videos. I also going to discuss about structure of ribosome, then genetic code, structure of both this tRNA in detail in my upcoming videos. Thank you.